Hello and welcome to ACS Golf and this week's review, which is actually my last review for 2023. So before we get into it, just want to say a big thanks to everyone who supported the channel over this year, and I'm very much looking forward to next year and sharing even more content with you. So more reviews, more versus videos, and me hopefully getting out on the golf course as well to show you guys, obviously me playing a little bit more with my dodgy swing, which hopefully will be improving, and obviously just giving more sort of footage of golf courses that are around me, because there are some really nice ones around me, to be fair, which I'd love to show you guys. If you're new to the channel, do remember to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on the upcoming videos for 2024. So there you go. Now on to the club at hand. Now, if you've obviously watched my channel before, you will know that this club has actually been in a versus video, so it's already been on the channel. And the club in question is this, the Cobra Long Tom. Don't worry guys, I will have a close-up of this. As always, you can have a proper look at it. I understand that I'm filming at the moment, which have quite a few of my videos in the dark because it is winter over here in the UK. I cannot wait till it's summer and this will be nice and bright again, rather than all these dark videos. But anyway, the show must go on, as they say. So, Cobra Long Tom. Now, I did a versus video of this against the Cobra LTDX, so last year's model, so do check out my channel for that. And the reason I picked this up to basically to do a review for you guys is because I found it really interesting. Because the whole point of this driver was the fact that it was 4 feet long, which is 48 inches long. I will just say this one's actually 47.75 inches. For some reason someone got rid of a quarter of an inch. Don't ask me why. So it's that little bit shorter, but in the end of the day, it's still over the sort of the normal 46 range at the moment. If you're questioning the rules, technically there's nothing stopping you at the moment to have a 48-inch driver, but local rules state that they can say that you can only use a 46-inch. So basically the RNA said, all right, we're keeping the rules, which is 48 inches, which is the longest club you can have apart from your putter, but we're going to make it that the local golf clubs, etc., can change it to say that, okay, you know, we don't want this 48 inch, the max you can have is 46, and that's the same for competitions, etc. So you'll find the majority of competitions, if not all, will not allow you to use this golf club. And even some of the courses will also say that you're not allowed to use this golf club. So even though technically in the rules you still can, do be aware, because that local rule can come in and stop you from using it. But regardless of that, I wanted to give it a go. You know, I'm a huge fan of Cobra. I've had the LTDX in the bag before. I've actually managed to pick up an Aerojet, which I'll be filming in 2024 as well. And I just love their stuff. I really have. So I wanted to see how far, firstly, you could go back. So into 2012, this is where this was released, so 2012, to see if they still produce good stuff. You know, I've done a F7, which I thought was a pretty decent driver, so I'll be interested to see if this still stacks up. And also gives the idea of, does a longer shaft give you more distance? So personally for me, I would actually expect this to be keeping up with modern day drivers. Don't get me wrong, if you shorten the shaft, it might not, but I definitely think in its current format, with the correct shaft in it, I definitely think it should be keeping up with them, which we will find out later on in this video. So, as always, as mentioned, we'll have a closer look at the club. We'll go through a bit of the technology that's in here, get down to the range, I'll throw some figures at you, and then we'll come back here for the ACS Golf Scale. Okay, let's have a closer look at this club. So there you go, and a really cool looking club. I think it looks awesome, to be fair. If you put that in a bag right now, I mean, don't get me wrong, it doesn't have any movable weights in it, so some people might go, oh, what's that? You know, it's an older one, but it looks very cool. I love the way they did it in the black. And some nice features in there as well, where they've got that sort of gloss in the middle, just to help you line that ball up along with the Cobra on the top. Just a very cool looking club, personally. Now let's get into the technology of this. So First things first, 4 feet long, as I mentioned before. So normally this would be 48 inches, which is the maximum allowed by the USGA, unless local course rules overturn it, which majority of places do. And it has an ultra light shaft as well. So the whole point of this is built for speed with it. Aerodynamics, light shaft, it is built for speed. Talking about the face, it's got an E9 face technology. So here you go, where basically it's made of titanium 8x1x1 alloy, which means they can reposition 20 grams of the weight right down at the bottom, so extremely low and deep, with the idea to help that ball speed again, and obviously to help get that, well, club going even faster, which is quite good. Overall, also, it is a full titanium head. There is no carbon fibre in here. Was there carbon fibre in 2012? I think there probably was, but I don't think it was sort of around as much as it was, because I know the first carbon fibre driver was years and years and years ago, but it was very much titanium back then still. We then also had a new dual roll design, which is the fact that they had provided more distance to shots above and below the centre line, so that more forgiveness they there. So they had that dual roll sort of cage there to add to more forgiveness, which is good. Then going back to this ultra light theme, so the shaft, which is a graphite blackbird shaft, so specific for this, was 50 grams in weight. So this is only a 50 gram weight shaft in total, which is light, and you can feel it. This whole driver, to be fair, even though it's 48 inches long, sorry, it's lighter than my Stealth 2. 100%, it is light, even though it's, 2 inches long, it is very light, which is great. And also got a speed coat. So if you ever grab one of these and never get a chance to feel it, it's sort of like matte all over, and it feels a little bit rough to the touch, to be honest. And the whole point of that is to help improve aerodynamics and therefore increase club head speed. Same on the head, same on the bottom there as well, and on the shaft. So the whole thing is built for speed. Exactly what they want. They want this thing to swing fast. And we'll talk about swing speed as well, because I've got some figures for you, because I can take the swing speed, so I'll throw that at you as well later on. But this thing is built for speed, and that is what it is for. With a little bit of forgiveness in there, that dual roll technology there, not necessarily the most unforgiving club as well, and I will discuss that later. Finally, going into what you could get, this is a fixed shaft, so you can't adjust it. Non-adjustable, there's no adjustable weights either in there at all. Left hand, you can only get 9 degrees, and right hand, you can only get 8 degrees, 9 degrees, or 10 degrees. This specifically was 9 degrees. And to be honest, even though it's 9 degrees, I actually play with a 12-degree driver. My Stealth 2 is, just because my attack angle is so awful. I will say, with this longer shaft, even though it's 9 degrees, the launch angle wasn't actually that bad for me. So overall, very happy with it. But anyway, I've mentioned I was very happy with it, but let's delve further into it and let's get those figures for you. So let's get down to the range, throw some figures at you, come back here for the ACS Golf Scale, and then I'll let you know my overall thoughts about this very cool club, to be honest. Long Tom. Is it still going to be long? Let's find out. So before I get into the figures, let's just discuss what I normally want with a driver. For total distance, I want the average to be above the 250 mark. And my club head speed is normally around 98, 97 miles per hour. So let's get into the numbers for the Long Tom. So on average, I had a carry of 235 yards, total distance of 259 yards, ball speed of 149 miles per hour, launch angle 11, height 70 feet, and swing speed 101 miles per hour. So that longer shaft is definitely helping me get more speed, which is great. Overall, I thought it was great fun to hit this, even though it was quite difficult to control it. I enjoyed the sound of it as well, actually, that full titanium head. Some of the highlight points was total, the longest shot of the day was 266 yards, which I was really happy with. I actually had one with carry as well of 247 yards, which again was great. Managed to get the launch angle quite nice with that, even though it's a 9-degree head. Around that 14 degrees mark, and it really did show with that carry. Overall, very happy. So there you go, and the overall answer to the question, is the Long Tom still long? Yes, it is. I mean, I'm testing this in the middle of winter. It's cold, it's not warm out there, and I'm still getting really good distance with it. You know, I'm going to keep this. I'm going to have a go with it in the summer as well. And I'll probably report back to you guys then, because I'm really interested to see how far this will go in the summer. When the balls are warmer, I'm a little bit more flexible. So I'm really looking forward to that. But overall, you know, 259 on average, so just below that 260, happy with. Happy with the 235 carry as well, to be honest. You know, can't complain with that. Ball speed was 149 on average. A few times I did manage to get over the 150 mark. If you watch the verses, at the time I didn't. The verses I didn't actually get over 150, but I actually took this out again because it's so much fun. Took it down to the range. And I managed to get 155 miles per hour ball speed and 158 miles per hour ball speed with it as well because of that shaft. Don't get me wrong, those swings was at 103 miles per hour. So, you know, really did swing faster than I normally would. And that's what I also really liked about this as well, is the swing speed. You know, normally for me, I'm around 97, 98. And as I mentioned before, it was cold, not the warmest day in the world, as it's middle of winter. And I was swinging, you know, on average 101 miles per hour. Fastest on the day was 103 miles per hour. And I definitely think, you know, I put this in my hands in the summer, I'm getting 105 plus, maybe possibly getting to 110 if I do my stretches beforehand. So we'll wait and see for that, but definitely going to have a go in the summer with this because it's so much fun. Launch angle, as I said, was 11, which isn't that bad. You know, 9-degree head for me, might even be a bit lower. Normally I'm around 11, 12, to be honest, so pretty similar. You know, and then height on average 72 feet. So I was getting good spin numbers with it, to be fair, because I was getting some decent carry with it, which I was quite surprised by. But again, that's just down to the faster club head speed. So overall, pretty good, to be honest. So I'm going to give you the ACS Golf Scale now. So distance, remember, feel, looks, price and forgiveness. Give you the ratings there. But I'm doing it with the idea that this club is played as it's supposed to be played. So with a 48-inch shaft, or at least close to it, like I've got 47.75 inches. I will mention at the end what I think this club could possibly do if it was put in a normal shaft. So do be aware of that, because majority of these that I do see sold online, are in shorter shafts, are actually in your normal shafts. So obviously you can be in competition, get down to your local course and play with them without getting told off pretty much. So there you go. So I will discuss that quickly at the end, but we're doing it with the fact that it's got the right shaft in it, and that's what I believe it should do, because that's the whole point of this Long Tom. It's the whole package. It's not just the head, it's the shaft as well. Because you couldn't get any other shaft in it. That was your shaft, and that's what you got. You know, obviously you can get extra stiff at the time. You get stiff, regular. I think you get soft as well. But at the time, that was the point. No other shaft in there. That was the one. So let's get the first one out of the way, distance. So overall, do I think Long Tom is still long? I really do. 4.5 out of 5 with this shaft in it. Because of obviously that, you know, the swing speed up being 101 miles per hour. Like I said, when I watched Rick Shields use this and Peter Finch back in the day, I think Rick Shields was averaging 263 carry with a ping driver he had at the time, 2012. With this, he was getting 293 carry. Don't get me wrong, he was getting that all the time, but he did hit that with it. So it is long. It is very long with this shaft. One of the longest I've done because of the shaft. Even though on the day, technically, yes, you've probably watched a few videos and I have hit further. But like I said, it was cold, it was wet, it was just a horrible day. So to get those numbers on that day with this, I was very happy. So I'm giving it 4.5 out of 5 because I just felt there was more as well. I felt if you put this in the right hands, or if I had to really go at it and then really got left alone with it and had it in the bag for a few months, I really do think I could have absolutely destroyed it. Because I don't want to ruin the Versus video, but the Versus video did come out as a tie. And I've done the LTDX review before, which I did give, I think I gave it a 4. Actually, I don't think I even did a ACS Golf at the time, but it would have been about 4 because there's good distance on it. So this is definitely longer than it, even though on the day they did draw. Put this in the right person's hand, and this is a monster. So yes, 4.5 out of 4, very happy. I'm definitely going to take it out in the summer, give it a go and see if I can possibly, on the odd shot, get to 300. Because I think with this shaft in it, if I'm really going for it, I think I could. So looking forward to that, believe me. Not carry, that is, that's a 300 total distance. Don't think I'll ever get carry of 300. You know, if I average over 250, well, yeah, just don't think I will. So anyway, let's move on. Okay, on to feel now. 3 out of 5 for me for feel. I think it felt very nice, to be fair. I enjoyed hitting it. Could I tell exactly where my mishits were? No. But overall, I generally really did enjoy the feel. So 3 out of 5. Control-wise, obviously a longer shaft, so it's a lot difficult to control, to be honest. And I did enjoy the sound of it as well. Because it's all titanium, it's quite tinny, which I quite enjoyed, tinny and loud. So all enjoyed that. So 3 out of 5 because it felt quite nice. I did enjoy the feel, but I didn't know where necessarily I was seeing it in the face. No, I couldn't tell you I smoked out the middle. The LGDX, I could tell you I smoked out the middle. This, I couldn't necessarily tell you where it was unless it was a really bad hit. So 3 out of 5. Moving on to forgiveness. Forgiveness 3 out of 5. I was in the wrong category then. Forgiveness 3 out of 5. I think there's quite a good amount of forgiveness in this club. So I'm giving it for the head itself. Obviously with this longer shaft, it does make it a lot difficult to sort of get your shots right. So you're going to be slicing more or maybe pushing them more, but that's down to shaft, not necessarily the club head. I think it kept ball speed relatively good. So yeah, 3 out of 5. I think forgiveness was pretty good on it. Not going to lie, so 3 out of 5 for that. And that's one thing that was billed as well from all the reviews back in the day of this, was that forgiveness was very good for what it was, but control was lacking because it's a longer shaft. So yes, 3 out of 5 for that. Moving on to looks now. Looks, I've given it a 4 out of 5 because I think it looks awesome. I like the look of it behind the club. You know, I like that matte black. I like the bottom of it, Long Tom. I like the black shaft. 4 out of 5. Really nice looking club. And I like the head, which I would say is quite normal. It's not necessarily compact and it's not, you know, really long like you saw for giving drivers. I'd say it's very traditional head shape. So I do like it. So 4 out of 5 for looks. Now on to the main sticking point of this, which for me is quite a big sticking point. So this is from 2012, remember. This isn't a new driver. Now, don't get me wrong, you watch my channel, I'll always say that golf equipment over the past couple of years hasn't changed that much. Go and buy yourself second hand or go to a shop and get something in sale rather than necessarily buy brand new, because you're not going to necessarily notice the distance. Unless you're watching this and you're a scratch golfer, you know, or plus handicapper, you're probably not going to notice that much of a difference, especially out on a golf course. And so with this, you could say, well, this is an old club, but then I think maybe it's a little bit too far back. You know, I'm talking sort of TaylorMade when you get to the M range, so 2016, Callaway when you get 2016, when they brought this out, Cobra when they sort of brought in the milled face. And this was before that. It was quite a bit before that, actually, 2012. So for me, don't get me wrong, it's a very good club because of the shaft in it, because the whole setup for that long distance is awesome. But for me, I'm giving price 2.5 out of 5. So the reason for that is you can pick this up on average probably for about £100. That's around $125. And the issue from that's off eBay. And if you're going to Golf Bidder, you're picking up for around £127. That's second-hand store over here in the UK, which is around $160. And then you're in the same ballpark as your Cobra King F7. I definitely think overall the head itself is a better drive than this Cobra King F7. Callaway Rogue Sub-Zero 2018, so that's a low spinner one for you guys out there who want, you know, maybe want big distance. That's what you're looking at this for. You know, TaylorMade M1 driver from 2016, great driver. You know, same price as the Wilson D9 driver from 2021, which I think was great. You know, even though again you can adjust it, but same price as that, same price of Cleveland Launcher HB, which is a pretty good driver as well from 2020. So there's lots and lots of options out there for the same price of this, especially when you look at the second-hand market. And I just don't necessarily think it's worth it. So I'm giving it 2.5 out of 5. I think for a bit of fun, if you can get it for the same price with the right shaft, like 48 inches, £100, £120, because of that shaft, and you probably can't pick the shaft up anymore that length unless you go specifically to someone and say, look, I want a longer shaft. I think it's good fun. I think it's great fun taking out a golf course. You can hit it far. It's got some decent forgiveness in there. It's a good fun thing. But you know, if you want this for a regulatory driver, so you want to do competitions or you want to go to the golf course and not be shouted at, so you want it being down at like 40, 46 inches below, I don't think it's worth it. Because a lot of these drivers online now, you can only get them 46 below because they've shortened the shafts, so they put different shafts in it. And I just think there's better options out there, because I think without the whole setup, this head's all right, but I don't think it's great. You know, I think if you're looking at the distance then, I think distance would probably be a 3, maybe a 2.5 without this shaft. Forgiveness might go up, to be fair, because you're not using such a long shaft, but distance will come right down. And then you're looking at, well, why am I not getting a TaylorMade M1, which would go further? You know, so do be aware of that. So price, I've given it a 2.5 out of 5. So what are my overall thoughts about the Long Tom? A lot of fun. I really enjoyed taking this out. I enjoyed taking it to the range, and I will definitely take it on a golf course. Well, sneak it onto a golf course anyway in the future to give it a go, because it's fun. I might lose a few golf balls, but it's fun, it's long, it feels good. Well, relatively feels good, the sound's good, and you know that if you really catch it, you can probably hit one of the longest drives you're ever going to hit. And for that sake, I think it's a great club. If you just want it to take out the golf course and have a little bit of fun with it. If you want it for competition, stuff like that, and you need to shorten it down, there's 10 times better options out there. So do be aware of that. So there you go. There is my review of the Cobra Long Tom. And I will definitely report back in the summer when I take it out in the summer and see if we can get to that 300 mark. It'd be very, very cool if I can with it. Total distance, that is, again, not carry, total distance. Okay guys, I hope you enjoyed this video, and again, Happy New Year. Do remember to give it a like. Also comment down below, you know, have you ever tried the Long Tom? Or have you ever used a longer shaft, so a 48-inch shaft before? And if so, you know, what have you thought about it? You know, have you hit your longest drives before? Or have you just basically had so little control with it, you never hit the middle of the face? Do let me know in the comments down below. And also, remember to subscribe to the channel, guys. Lots of great videos coming up for the new year, which you don't want to miss out. Okay, hope you enjoyed it again, and I'll catch you soon. Well, I'll catch you probably in 2024. See you then. Bye-bye.